and welcome, or welcome back to my channel. Today I've got some fun gingerbread DIYs to share with you that I think you're really going to enjoy. So if you want to know how to make them, stick around. I'll show you how. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. All right, next one. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I would love it if you would hit that button. Okay, for this one, I'm going to use one of the vases from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to wipe it down with some alcohol really good before I paint it. I'm going to take it outside, and I'm going to spray paint it with a satin Rust-Oleum nutmeg paint. Okay, next I'm going to take some Waverly Hazelnut chalk paint and a sponge brush, and I'm going to paint this. Now, this is going to take probably 2 coats. If you do coat it with another color first, you could even use a white primer on it, but go ahead on glass, primer it or paint it because it's easier to paint if you do that. And I am going to use about 2 coats of paint to get this completely covered up. Next, I'm going to start painting this gingerbread style. Now, I got these paint pens from Amazon. I'll give you the link for them. They're the best that I have ever used. And I'm just going to kind of go a little bit fast on this so you can see what I'm doing. But I am going to put a lot of little swirls on it. I'm going to fill this up pretty full. And then I'm going to continue to go around just like I did on the other side. And then I am going to put the dots in it once I get these on here. Next, I'm going to start adding some snowflakes. Now, don't laugh at my first snowflake. I got a little bit better as I went along. I would start by doing just a cross and then put your X in the center of it. That worked a little bit better after I got going on it.
You might think the weather's kinda cold, but you know you've got a hand to hold. Come along out and play. What a wonderful day. Your white cheeks are so hard to resist. Those red lips are longing for a kiss. Come along out and play. What a wonderful day. Christmas is almost here. Let's toast to a very good.
And then everywhere where I have gaps, I'm going to start putting my swirls in. This just really did fill it up. And then I'm going to go back in and I'm going to add a lot of little dots to it just to kind of dress it up a little bit more. So I'm taking one of the Dollar Tree pool noodles, and then I'm just going to cut it down till it's about maybe 1.5 inches down into my jar. So I'm taking a little rolling pin that I had, and I'm going to paint both of the handles with the red Crimson Waverly chalk paint. This is a real pretty color red. And then I switched to a smaller paintbrush. It was a little bit easier so I didn't get paint all over the roller part. Next, I'm just going to paint the roller part white, and I'm just using a white acrylic paint on this. And don't worry if you get a little bit on your handles, you can go back in and touch that up. Next, I'm going to go ahead and glue my pool noodle right into the bottom of my vase. Just kind of make sure that you do try to get it centered. Okay, next I got this Greenery from Amazon. I'll give you the link for it. And I'm going to fill my vase up pretty full. And I am leaning them out a little bit. And then I'm going to put some in the center too. So you just want to make sure you get enough in there where you're really covering up your noodle. And then we're going to come back in with some other Greenery to cover up the noodle completely. Just kind of get it full because you do want this to be a nice full flower arrangement. And you could paint your noodle green if you wanted to ahead of time. That might have been a good idea as well. I'm just going to use some reindeer moss to put right on top of my noodle to kind of cover it completely up. And it didn't take a lot, just enough just to cover up the orange. Next, I got this little gingerbread set from Amazon. It's a little bakery set, and a lot of them are duplicates, so I'm going to pick several of them out that are different. And I'll give you the link for these. These are cute on so many different projects. Okay, next I got these little barbecue skewers, and I'm just going to glue these at the top. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, don't just use hot glue. Use some E6000 glue too, because all of mine fell off. Then I had to go back in and re-glue them with the E6000. But you are going to cut the little loop off of the top of each one of those little ornaments. And I'm using 7 of these in this project. And these are super cute on packages too. But you do get quite a few of them in the pack. Then I'm just going to start randomly sticking them into my greenery arrangement. Just kind of space them out as much as you can. Now you don't want to push them all the way down where you don't see them. And if you need to add a little bit more greenery, add some more greenery. You could add any kind of greenery you want to this. And then just keep going until you have them all inserted, kind of spacing them out evenly. And then I'm going to add my little rolling pin right to the center. Just stick it right straight down in there. Next, I'm going to make a ribbon for the front. I'm just going to wrap this ribbon around my hand about 6 times. And I'm leaving a tail on each end for the side of the bow. Then we're just going to kind of gather it up in the center. We're going to put it onto one of the barbecue skewers and stick it down inside of the base. And then I'm just going to gather this up in the center, and then I'm going to tie another ribbon around it to hold it all together. And then just take a little bit of time to kind of spread out the loops a little bit. And then I'm just going to glue a barbecue skewer to the back of it. And then I am going to cut a little ribbon strip to go across the back to hold this all together. Next, then I'm taking a little gingerbread cookie cutter. I'm just going to tie a ribbon onto it. And I'm going to hang this from the side of my vase. And I'm just going to put it onto another barbecue skewer just to hold it in place. So just tie this into a knot, and then once you put your skewer in there, you can just hang this onto it and then glue it in. And I'm just going to wrap my ribbon around it a little bit, add a little bit of glue, and then just keep wrapping it till it's completely wrapped around it. And then you're going to stick it down inside your vase, but you're going to stick it all the way down where you don't see the stick at all. And then we're going to put our ribbon right into the very front. All right, and then look how cute that turned out. Let me know what you think in the comments. This next one, I'm going to take 2 plastic bowling pins and I'm going to spray paint them with a warm caramel spray paint. Okay, next I'm going to draw some eyes. Now this is going to be a girl gingerbread man or gingerbread lady, and I'm just going to do 2 round eyes, and then I'm going to switch to a paintbrush because this pen wasn't working out quite as well. And then for the guy gingerbread man, I'm going to do kind of a funny eyes for him, and then I'll come back in with a paintbrush and finish them out together. And I'm just going to kind of make some eyes that go up at the top right here on both of them. Okay, then I'm taking a small detail paintbrush and coming in and painting it in better. This worked out a lot better than the pen. And then to add some eyelashes, I'm going to get a smaller paintbrush and give a little bit of eyelash on the top and the bottom. And then I'm going to do something very similar to the guy. Just get them filled in good. This paintbrush worked a lot better than the pen on this, I guess because it was so slick. Okay, then I'm taking a real fine paintbrush. I'm going to draw a little mouth. And then I'm going to have his mouth open. So I'm just going to like a U shape right here. And then I'm going to do another little piece off of that for the mouth. And then I'm just going to give him a round or oval shaped little nose. Then I'm going to give her a very similar face here. I'm giving her an oval nose. And then on her smile, I started off with just a smile, but I did go back in and add that little open mouth look for her too. And then for him, I'm going to give him a few little eyelashes off of here as well. And then I'm going to take some white paint, fill in the little area that was open at the bottom of the eye. And then I'm going to give him a couple little dots in his eye to kind of finish him out. If you just hold your pinky right onto the whatever you're painting, it makes your hand a lot more stable. And I'm just going to give him 2 little dots. And then for my little gal, I'm just going to put 2 little dots on her eyes. And then for their little noses, I'm just going to paint it with a cherry cobbler colored acrylic paint. And then this is where I came back in and gave her the open mouth. I thought it looked so much cuter, and I'm just going to fill it in with black. And then I'm also going to do the same thing with my gingerbread man. And then to give her a little bit more highlight in her eyes, I just added another little bitty dot. And then I'm going to take the small paintbrush and I'm just going to put a little swoosh on the nose and down in the mouth. And then I'm just going to add a couple little eyebrows on both sides. Next for both of them, I'm just going to take my marker and I'm just going to go around
kind of squiggly line all the way around their face on both of them. It's a little bit difficult because it's so small. But you can do this, just take your time on it. Okay, next I'm going to add some clothes. I'm just going to draw a line, kind of like he's wearing some pants. And I'm going to go all the way around to the back. And then we're going to decorate right into the center of all these here in just a second. And then for her, I'm giving her a little apron. And then I'm going to finish out giving her a little dress. And I'm just going to do some little squiggly lines on him. And this is kind of a work in progress. I'm just kind of creating this as I'm going. But just once you get it going, just kind of put a lot of swirls, a lot of little squiggly lines, some dots really work good. Just kind of have fun with it. Do it however you want to. But the more you fill it up, the better it's going to look. And then I put little ruffles around hers. And I'm going to put little dots inside those ruffles to kind of dress them up a little bit. And then I'm going to decorate the rest of her apron kind of similar to his with all the little squiggly lines. But definitely add a lot of dots because the dots really do look cute on these. And then I'm going to add some dots on his as well. And then I'm going to dress these up a lot here in a little bit. And I'll kind of go fast on that part. And then I'm going to put a few little dots on her face and on his face. Next, I'm going to take a red and white ribbon and I'm just going to tie it right around their neck and I'm going to tie it into a bow in the front. And I'm going to do this on both of them. And then I'm coming in and I'm going to put heavier design on here. I'm going to put a lot of these little snowflakes on here and I'm going to go fast on this. I'll play a little bit of Christmas music as you watch to see what I'm doing, but I'm going to go pretty fast on this.
It's kinda cold, but you know you've got a hand to hold. Come along out and play. What a wonderful day. Your white cheeks are so hard to resist. Those red lips are longing for a kiss. Come along out and play. What a wonderful day. Christmas is almost here. Let's toast to a very good year. It's just you and me, chilling right under the tree.
And to finish them off, I got these little red beanies from Amazon. I'm just going to glue them right on top. And just let that dry, then you can pull it on down. It's hard to get these onto their head a little bit, so just do it this way. It works the best way. And then once that dries, we can pull these on down. Once that dries, you can just pull it on down and put a little cuff on it, and then just finish gluing it on. And then you're going to do the same thing with the other one. Okay, for this one, we're going to use 3 little different sizes Christmas trees. I've given you the pattern in the description below, and we're going to use a 1/2 inch thick foam core board. I'm just going to line them up to get the most use of my board, and then I'm going to cut around them a little bit closer to the tree, and then I'm going to tape them with some painter's tape to the board and cut them out. Now, I'm just using an X-Acto knife. I'll give you the link for this one. It's a really sharp one, and it really cuts good. And I'm going to use a ruler to cut all of my cuts. These are all straight cuts. There's no curves. You can use a ruler and get this pretty straight. But you're going to have to kind of cut through it a couple of times, and then you can get it all the way through it. And try to cut with your blade at a 30-degree angle, and then your cuts will be pretty straight. And then the sides will be pretty smooth as well. And just keep going until you have them all cut out. And this really didn't take that long to do. These cut out pretty quickly. I'm just going to cut a rectangle for the base for my trees. And this ended up measuring about 10.5 inches by about 3 inches. Next, I'm going to paint my base and all 3 of my trees with the same color. And this is a folk art, and it's called Honeycomb. And it's just in a regular acrylic paint. And I'm going to paint the front, the back, and the sides, all of this with this color. This took about 3 coats to get these completely covered up. Next, I'm going to take a paint pen and a ruler, and I'm just going to line this up in the center, and I'm just going to draw a line right down the center. Now, I'm going to paint these, but I'm going to kind of go fast so you can kind of see what I'm doing, and I'll give you the link for the paint pen that I'm using. It's really a good one, and you get a pack of about 6 of them from Amazon. And I'm going to paint most of mine pretty similar. They're going to have a little bit differences, but they're still all going to have pretty much the swirly lines. And I'm kind of going to go fast on this, and I'm going to play a little bit of Christmas music in the background for your enjoyment.
You might think the weather's kinda cold, but you know you've got a hand to hold. Come along out and play. What a wonderful day. Your white cheeks are so hard to resist. Those red lips are longing for a kiss. Come along out and play. What a wonderful day. Christmas is almost here. Let's toast to a very good year. It's just you and me, chilling right under the tree. Stay outdoors, a different kind of date. I'm all yours and I can hardly wait. Come along, start the show, having fun.
Next, I'm going to come back in with some puff paint, and all the dots that I did, I'm going to dot those with the puff paint. Now, inside my swirls, at the very tip of my swirls, I'm also going to put a dot of the puff paint there as well. Okay, then for my base, I'm just going to put little dots all the way around it. And just kind of evenly space those out. Next, I'm going to attach my tree. This is the largest of the 3 trees. I'm just going to put it right in the center, a little bit closer to the back. Just line it up there, and I'm just using hot glue on this to hold this together. And for my medium-sized tree, I'm just going to glue it right here in front of that one, kind of at a diagonal from it. And I'm going to do the same thing with the small one on the opposite side.
Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video today. I hope it gave you some inspiration. If you like these kind of videos, be sure and give me a like, subscribe, and ring that bell to be notified when I have a new video upload. Thank y'all so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And if nobody's told you today, you're awesome. See you next time. Thanks for watching.